Well, hello there, everybody. Trailer Trash Tim, how's your mom and them? Thank you so much for stopping by. I am awfully glad to have you here with us on a wonderful Friday, the last day of the work week. So here we go into another hustling and bustling weekend. We are really close to the holiday season. You know, this next week is Thanksgiving Day, at least here in America. And it'll be Christmas before you know it, and it'll be 2024 before you know it, and glory, hallelujah. We finally get the opportunity to get this president out of office. I cannot wait. All right, let's start with this. I've been talking a lot this week about Vivek Ramaswamy, who I'm really impressed with, I have to tell you. Of course, you already know that. But as you also know, he has really come after the chair of the GOP, Ronna McDaniel. Hang on a minute. Do you see this lump behind me, this curtain? Do you know who that is? Let's see if I can catch her. Hang on. Oh, bear with me. This is live video. There she went. Kiki. She snuck in here a minute ago and went behind the curtain. And she will not. That cat, I'm telling you. Anyway, I got sidetracked. I apologize. I thought I might get her on camera, but she is some kind of camera shot. Back to Vivek and Ronna. Ronna is the chairwoman of the Grand Old Party. And, of course, Vivek is not a fan of hers. He really went after her in the last debate, and he blamed her for the losses that the GOP has had in the last few election cycles, and rightly so. Well, Vivek has taken his rhetoric to the next step. Man, this guy's a doer. He's not just a talker. He has established a website called FireRonna.com or FireRonna.com, R-O-N-N-A, FireRonna.com. And what he's trying to do is get people to go there and sign up or sign on, I guess, like an online petition to fire Ronna McDaniel from her position as chairwoman of the Grand Old Party. This is what he said, quote, "I am sick and tired of this Republican establishment that has made us a party of losers. Where is the accountability for years of losing? 2018, 2020, 2022, and now 2023. A week ago on the GOP debate stage, I called on Ronna Romney McDaniel to resign." I love the fact he puts her maiden name in there, Romney. "Now I'm asking grassroots conservatives across the nation to join me so that she can feel the power of the people. It's time to stop the culture of surrender and losing. Resign, Ronna. Add your name to the list," Ramaswamy tweeted, sharing the link to FireRonna.com. And I would offer that to all of you that are watching this right now. FireRonna, RONNA.com. And add your name to the petition to get rid of her, dump her. She needs to be gotten rid of. She needs to be fired. She's terrible. But let me tell you what's really going on here, okay? This is really a strategic and really a bold and brash and wise move on the part of Vivek, because this guy's starting to get people's attention. I don't think it's enough to put a dent in Trump's lead, but Vivek is still making enough noise that people are starting to say, at least, hey, who the heck is this guy? And when they start listening to what he said, I mean, it happened with me. When they start listening to him, it may well be that they like what they hear. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, I can only predict what I believe is going to happen. I believe that Trump will be the nominee. I believe currently it will probably be Trump versus Biden. Could that change? Absolutely. It could be Trump versus somebody else. It could be somebody else versus somebody else. I don't know. But what's happening here is this. Ramaswamy is doing two things. Number one, he's drawing attention to himself. He's building a fire out there so that people have to look and see what's going on. This is smart. Nobody else is doing this. Nobody else is calling for the firing of Ronna Romney McDaniel. Not even Trump. He ought to be, but he's not. Vivek is going right to the source and saying, we need to get rid of her right now. That's one thing he's doing. The second thing he is doing is he is building. Now, this is very important. Pay attention to this. He is building a mailing list, because when you go to this website, fireronna.com, you put your name on an online petition and your email. So now Vivek has your name and your email as at least a tacit supporter of his. He is building an email list. What do you do with email list? It is from email list that you can raise funds. The people that signed this petition are potential donors. It's obvious that the people who signed this petition like what he's saying. They are in league with him, at least on the topic of firing Ronna Romney McDaniel. So he is smart. You know, a mailing list is very important. No matter what business you're in, you need to build your mailing list, build your base, because these are your potential customers if you have a traditional business. But if you're a politician, you build an email list so that you can start working on your donor base, and that's exactly what he's doing. Well played, Vivek. I don't blame you. You're doing a really good thing. All right, I want to move on to, one thing I want to touch on real quick before I move on to my next story. Do you remember yesterday I covered the fact that Nikki Haley is saying that on the first day she's president, she is going to demand that all of us who get on the internet and we go to social media sites, etc., we can no longer use aliases. We can no longer use a pseudonym in our online interactions. We're going to have to use our real names. We're going to have to let everybody know who it is that's saying what. This is absolute nonsense. I told you yesterday, this is what somebody like this would say. That's exactly what it is. It is fascism. And it's ridiculous. Because, when you go online, there's nothing more sacred to you, my friends, than privacy. And I said yesterday that people use pseudonyms for safety, and they use pseudonyms for privacy, because there's a lot of Looney Tunes in this old world, and if they know who you really are, they could dox you. They could potentially do you harm. And that's why so many people use pseudonyms. There's nothing wrong with that. It's completely understood by everybody that uses them, why they use them. But what I wanted to point out about this was the sheer hypocrisy of what neocon Nikki, or if you prefer, Nikki, is saying. Her real name is Nimarata Nikki Ranhawa Haley. That's her full real name. So this is what I'm proposing, Nikki. If we all have to use our real name in our online interactions, then I think you need to start using your real name in your quest to become president. So right now, I think when people introduce you for your speeches or your debates or whatever, they need to say, ladies and gentlemen, let us introduce the next president of the United States, Nimarata Nikki Ranhawa Haley. I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right, Nikki? What a hypocrite. Just go away. You need to go the way of Mike Pence and go the way of Tim Scott. And who else got out? I forget, because they're forgettable. Soon it'll be Chris Christie that'll exit stage left, and then it'll be, my Lord, who's left? DeSantis is not going to make it, so I don't know who else is left. I hope Vivek is left standing. It wouldn't bother me if he got a little vice presidential consideration from Trump. Either him or Tucker Carlson, I'd be fine with either one. But anyway, I wanted to point that out about Nikki Haley. Let's move on. Now, I wonder how many of you have heard about this. The United States Army, there's words, I want to report this, but there's words I can't say, and I forgot my flashcard, so you're going to have to listen closely. You'll get the gist of what I'm saying without me actually saying the words. I have to do that if you don't know because of YouTube. There's certain things that apparently you get flagged for saying on YouTube, and I just can't say them. But the story is found in the Gateway Pundit. The United States Army has removed the COVID-19 VAX requirement for new recruits. Have you heard about this? You probably already knew that the United States Army was requiring all new recruits to be JAB'd, right? And in fact, they were requiring current personnel to get the VAX. And you either had to get it or you had to get out. Now, this is a story. I don't want to read the whole story, but I really commend it to you. It's on the Gateway Pundit. It's an excellent read. It's a short read, but it's an excellent read. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin mandated the experimental COVID-19 VAX for all military personnel on August the 24th of 2021. And, a lot of people just said, yeah, we're not going to do it, and they had to get out of the military. Well, what happened is this. The recruitment numbers, the recruitment goals are falling far short of the quota or the number that they want to reach in the U.S. Army. This is just one branch, right? In other words, nobody's signing up to join the Army, not in the numbers that they need. In 2022, listen to this, in the 2022 recruiting year for the U.S. Army, it is the worst year since the end of the draft in 1973. They fell short of their recruitment goal by 25%. That is huge. And it's such a problem that finally the Biden administration finally said, okay, enough is enough. We're lifting the VAX mandate for U.S. military personnel. Not only that, those who were discharged for refusing the JAB can rejoin the service. So y'all come on back. Well, that's not working out too well. Out of the 8,000 people who were discharged because they refused the JAB, guess how many have rejoined out of 8,000? 43. 43. I'm going to tell you folks something. Our military is in shambles as far as I'm concerned in terms of, not so much in equipment, but in terms of personnel, because we turned the military into a center of social experimentation. We made it a place where, we would just experiment on on people who had different morals, shall we say. Transsexuals, for one thing. It was just a place of social experimentation, and that's not what the military is for. The military exists to kill people and break things. It's as simple as that. This is not your father's military today. This is not your grandfather's military, certainly. We need leadership in our military that we currently don't have, and I'm talking about from the commander-in-chief, who we also currently don't have. He is an absolute train wreck, as with everything else. So the bottom line is the United States Army has removed the requirement to be jabbed. So if you want to join the Army, good news. I don't know why you would. I wouldn't join it. Not in the condition it's in right now. I wouldn't want to have to wear the uniform and fight for this man that's in the White House. If you're already in there, you have my sympathies. Thank you for serving, but I couldn't do it. All right. I want to give you, going into the weekend, some good practical advice. Let's get off of politics for a while. And let me give you some advice that may save your life or at least keep you from getting sick. This is an article that appeared in the dailymail.co.uk, the Daily Mail UK. It is the dirtiest places you touch every day, which may surprise you. Hey, listen, you need to make note of this because I guarantee you, every one of you touch one of these things or more every single day, but you cannot believe how dirty these items are. Now, some of them you already know. I know that one thing is not on this list that maybe should be on this list, and that is cash money. It's filthy in more ways than one, really. I'm not an advocate for going cashless, by the way, but I'm just saying cash is not clean. The dirtiest places you touch every day may surprise you. So I'm going to give you a list of, I think, 5 things here that are extremely dirty, and you need to beware and take caution so that you won't get sick, and tell your loved ones about this as well. I'm going to give you these 5, I think it's 5 or 6 things. The first thing that you need to be wary of are shopping carts. Did you know this? Grocery store carts, listen to this. Grocery store carts could be covered in fecal matter and have more bacteria than a toilet seat. Dr. Kunal Sood, an acute and chronic pain doctor in Maryland, shared a TikTok to his 2 million followers, warning about the dangers of shopping carts. Listen to this, folks. Dr. Sood claimed grocery store carts could be a source of infections like hand, foot, and mouth disease, which causes mouth sores and a rash on the hands and feet. He cited a study from the University of Arizona, which found that more than 75% of shopping carts tested positive for fecal bacteria. Oh. Quote, the study even showed the shopping carts were even dirtier than toilets because toilets were more likely to be cleaned than the shopping carts, Dr. Sood said. He recommended using a disinfecting wipe on a cart before using it. I've seen people doing that. Now look, you know how I feel about face masks. They're absolutely ridiculous, but this does make good sense in terms of a shopping cart. You don't know who all's been handling that, but he's saying that these things can have all kinds of bacteria on it. So you might want to take a wet wipe or some kind of a sanitary napkin of some kind and wipe that puppy down before handling it. Number 2, pay close attention to this. I knew about this one, but I didn't know all these facts. What's another filthy thing you handle every day, and some of you are handling it right now? That's right, it's your cell phone. Data from career firm Zippia found the average American checks their phone about 96 times a day, or once every 10 to 12 minutes. Guilty. This could leave you vulnerable to several types of bacteria, including Staphylococcus, which causes staph infections, and MRA, a largely antibiotic-resistant infection that can spread to the bloodstream, lungs, heart, bones, and joints if left untreated. A study published in the journal Germs found the cell phones of high school students were crawling with 17,000 bacterial gene copies, and research from the University of Arizona showed cell phones have 10 times more bacteria than most toilet seats. My Lord. Washing your hands and keeping your phone out of the bathroom, which tends to have more bacteria, can help you reduce germs. They actually make a device where you can clean your cell phone. I know if you go to QVC.com, they've got one. It might be worth looking into. All right. The third thing you need to be wary of is your toothbrush holder. Though toothbrushes are meant to keep your teeth clean, toothbrush holders themselves rarely get cleaned, which makes them breeding grounds for germs. That's because the holder comes into contact with a wet toothbrush at least twice a day, and that moisture allows yeast and mold to grow. And this goes on, saying that they could even, some of the findings that showed up in this were E. coli, and that's something you want to steer clear of. All right, the fourth thing I think it is that you need to steer clear of, if you work in an office, stay away from the office coffee cups. The coffee cup you keep in the office may get rinsed out at the end of the day, but it's still a haven for germs. A study from the University of Arizona suggested this could be due to communal kitchen sponges that rarely get changed. These can carry coliform bacteria, which includes E. coli. So stay away from the communal coffee cup at the office. And this one got me. This is number 5 or number 6. Something else to steer clear from is birthday cake. You know why? Listen at this. Blowing out candles on your birthday seems innocent, but when a whole group helps out, it could lead to massive amounts of bacteria. Imagine the birthday boy or birthday girl sitting in front of a big birthday cake that's full of candles, and all your friends are around. They're going to help you blow out the candles, and 1, 2, 3, everybody huffs and puffs and blows out the candles. Blowing out candles on your birthday seems innocent, but when a whole group helps out, it leads to massive amounts of bacteria. A 2017 study in the Journal of Food Research found that when you blow out the candles, oh my Lord, it spreads 1,400%, 15 times more bacteria on the frosting than if they weren't extinguished. Dr. Paul Dawson, food safety expert at Clemson University, said the amount of bacteria varies a lot from person to person based on how sloppy someone is when blowing out their candles, but it does occur. I don't know the chance of this occurring, but in fact, if someone is sick, carrying a disease, and blows on the birthday cake, there is going to be bacterial transfer. So I'll tell you what, be careful when you're blowing out candles on your birthday cake. If you got a crowd of people blowing on the birthday cake, I'm not going to get graphic. I don't need to get graphic, but just think about it. They're blowing Lord knows what onto the birthday cake that's going to get sliced and everybody's going to eat it. All right, the last thing is laundry. Steer clear of, or be wary of laundry. Though laundry is meant to remove dirt and contaminants from clothes, research published in the journal Applied and Environmental Microbiology showed several viruses can survive even the spin cycle. The researchers found adenovirus, rotavirus, and hepatitis A all lived through washing and drying. Adenoviruses are a group of respiratory illnesses that lead to cough, fever, runny nose, and pneumonia. Rotavirus is a highly contagious and usually affects children under age 5. It leads to severe diarrhea, vomiting, and black stool. However, it's much less common in the... My nose itches. I hope I don't have a... No, never mind. It's much less common in the U.S. than in other countries, killing 20 to 40 children a year compared to 600,000 worldwide. If clothes are left wet for more than 30 minutes, it's best to do another cycle on high heat to kill the remaining germs. Also, if you're folding clean clothes on a surface, be sure to wipe it down first. So there you have it. Be wary of shopping carts, cell phones, money, that's mine, birthday cakes, laundry, and I left one out, but you can go back and make a note of that. Be careful out there. I don't want anybody getting sick, right? All right, look, hey, everybody go out there and have a great weekend. Gearing up for the big holiday week, right? Give me a big thumbs up on this video down below. I would really appreciate that. If you have not yet subscribed to the Trailer Trash Tim channel, I would appreciate it very much if you would avail yourself of the subscribe button right there, right down below, right there. Yeah, you go ahead, subscribe right now. I'd appreciate that, and join our community. Everybody go out there, have a great weekend. I will see you Monday, if not before. This is Trailer Trash Tim. Have a good one.